Tuesday, February 16th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here along with you, and we're going to kind of wrap up our departing storm system this morning, talk about the rest of the week, look toward the next potential storm system, and some long-range ideas here all in today's edition of the video. All right, let's start off with a look at the Greensboro Tower camera this morning. You have rain that's been falling as temperatures in the immediate triad finally did get above freezing. The temperature at 39 during the 5 o'clock hour as I cut this video. Now the northwestern sections of the Piedmont and the foothills, as expected. Let's remember who said what here. You get a lot of confusion, I think, amongst the folks out there as to who exactly said what. I said all along the foothills would stay probably very close to freezing all night long last night. And that's exactly what happened. And so you had some continued icing issues in that part of the state. And also mentioned that the precipitation amounts would be pretty light through the Charlotte area down into the upstate, but then rates would kick up and probably still have temperatures pretty close to freezing as they did yesterday evening. Boy, you had a lot of icing issues in the upstate up into the Charlotte, a lot of road problems that developed. These were the high temperatures yesterday, and obviously sub-freezing in many spots. To tell you what, I mean, these temperatures behaved exactly as we were kind of outlining for you here on Time Warner Cable News as we went through yesterday. There's your highs yesterday around the Charlotte viewing area. Temperatures, pretty amazing spread in the damming areas to points outside of the damming areas there. We have temperatures still hovering close to freezing in the northwestern sections of North and South Carolina, but all the way up into the 60s plus in the Sandhills over to the coast this morning. A big line of rain that has really had some pretty gusty winds involved with it. Had some wind issues up into Rockingham County with the ice load in the trees combined with some gusty winds. And that big line of heavy rain with embedded pretty gusty winds continues to move to the east. That's heading into Raleigh this hour and points south from there toward the Sandhills. Now, there's where you still have some icing issues ongoing with temperatures hovering around freezing. Still a little bit of freezing rain in the northwestern sections of the viewing area. But look at this. This is the quiet weather we get to enjoy for today. And then this system brings us a quick shot of some rain tonight, but that'll be in and out overnight. And the nice weather continues through the work week. Now, these are the original ideas I laid out yesterday morning in terms of snow and sleet accumulations. And then this is the ice accumulation map I put out yesterday morning. And really, in many instances, that worked out pretty well. You ended up, it wasn't a ton of ice, but really a ton of ice issues yesterday evening in this corridor, as had a lot of wrecks with some icy spots on roads as the precipitation finally settled in. And we'll keep compiling these numbers. These are very preliminary. We'll get, I'll show you this first of all. There's the warning situation. These will be allowed to expire soon. Now, again, we'll get some more numbers in shortly, but these are just a few of the numbers, especially focused around the Triad area I've received so far. There's your snow numbers and preliminary. These are very preliminary. I haven't got a lot of updated numbers yet, but there's preliminary ice numbers across the area. Again, that's just a very preliminary report. A lot of the ice numbers have not quite come in just yet. All right, let's take a look at what's happening ahead. We wind up with a pretty good weather setup for today, and then another quick hitting system brings some rain showers tonight. It could be some snow, certainly in the mountains and maybe the northernmost foothill areas. Maybe a snow shower rather involved with that activity. But for most of us, this will be liquid. And we're looking at a pretty nice afternoon, really. Temperatures well above freezing across the region. And great weather set to unfold the rest of the work week. As we get into tomorrow, some pretty good intervals of sunshine. There's your Wednesday highs across the region. Thursday, a little bit cooler, high pressure nosing in from the north, but still a good amount of sunshine. And there's your Thursday afternoon highs. And I still think a very, very nice weekend's on the way. These are your 850 millibar or 5,000 foot temperatures off the European model. Certainly chilly as we've started the week, but look at all the warmer air aloft moving in later this week. And I think that translates into some nice weather. Saturday, there's your highs. Sunday, looking very nice across the region temperature-wise, too. All right, so let me show you a few more of the higher resolution models here, and we'll go out first of all to the system tonight. Now, this was the 0Z run of the GFS, and again, this is potential for a little bit of snow shower activity in the far northwestern part of the area, but you notice it's mainly liquid out there across the region. As we move out in time, snapshot of your Saturday highs looking great across the region. There's your great weekend. Now we get out into next week. Okay, let's start here. And this is what the European model looks like Monday evening. That's rain showers. But as you get deeper into the system, some high pressure noses into the from the north and the northeastern, in the Great Lakes, northeastern U.S. rather, in the Great Lakes region. Low pressure, very slow moving, gradually spins up off the Georgia and the Carolina coast, and you wind up with a healthy footprint of snow. I didn't put the chart in here, but you have a big snow being indicated on the operational European model, anywhere from northern South Carolina up to parts of central North Carolina and southeastern Virginia. Some big snow totals on that latest run of the European. But again, that is just a snapshot of one run. As you might expect with this type of an anomalous setup, not a lot of ensemble support for this specific solution, but there is a lot of ensemble support for a storm system. The Canadian model has a system too. All right, so this is Tuesday morning. That's rain, of course. As you go out in time into the future, though, this is Tuesday night, and again, that colder air bleeding in as the low transfers to the coast. There's your snow on the backside of the system, gradually working through the region. GFS has occasionally flirted with having that system. I haven't seen the 60 run yet as I get the video. But again, I think that's a time period to watch. You need a lot of pieces to come together in just the right fashion to produce a snow event in the Carolinas, but it is one of the many solutions that's a possibility early next week. And again, the way we get there is that. This is the upper level chart off the European 500 millibars. You get a trough that turns in a negative tilt fashion just at the exact right spot to produce that snow that you saw on the operational run. Now, some quick long-term thoughts here. There's the Canadian 850 millibar deviation from averages, okay? So this is your late week warm-up. But I've said all along, late month, we turn back to a colder pattern. That process starts next week. This is Thursday. You see those below average 850 millibar temperatures really strengthens then through the end of next week into the following weekend. And then this is all the way out at 384 hours. That's into early March. And you still have some below average deviations there in the eastern part of the country. So winter is not over. Will we see more winter weather? Possibly. That's a question I can't quite answer yet. But again, certainly I'm watching the period early next week, and maybe more fun and games down the road too as we get that colder pattern trying to settle in for the end of the month and into early parts of March. All right, so that is it for the latest edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Everybody, have a great day and God bless.